On May 21st, French historian Dominique Venner shocked France when he walked into Notre Dame Cathedral, put a letter on the altar, and shot himself in the head. It was a protest against Islamization and France's new gay marriage law. He said in his suicide note he hoped his death would wake up the nation. Europe is being forced to awaken because parts of Europe are literally on fire. In Sweden a few weeks ago, predominantly Muslim immigrants set fires for several nights. In Britain, a soldier was butchered on a London street by a Muslim. In France, a recent convert to Islam tried to do the same thing to a French soldier, but only wounded him. Amidst failing economies, Europe is continuing to fracture into ethnic tribes that hate one another. Even German Chancellor Angela Merkel has admitted that multiculturalism has failed. It's led to immigrant ghettos inside European cities that are breeding grounds for radicalism and hostility to mainstream society. In Paris, we asked Guy Millière, author of the new book Radical Islam is a Weapon of Mass Destruction, why the European establishment continues to allow and encourage Islam to spread while suppressing Christianity.
The connection between radical Muslims and leftists in Europe is that both are totalitarian, and they see something in common between them and radical Muslims.
A lot of European leaders still seem to fear political correctness more than Islamic terrorism. British Prime Minister David Cameron said, "There is nothing in Islam that justified the beheading of British soldier Lee Rigby by a Muslim," ignoring the many verses in the Quran that command Muslims to behead unbelievers. Cameron instead called the murder a betrayal of Islam. It took the Somali terrorist group Al-Shabaab to correct Cameron in a series of tweets, saying that the gruesome killing wasn't a betrayal of Islam, but a portrayal of Islam. The Rigby murder caused rioting and attacks on mosques across Britain.
Enough's enough. Our message is enough. We have weak leaders, weak police. Our police and our leaders tiptoe around this issue. This issue is political Islam. It's political Islam that's spreading across this country.
Across the Channel in France, opponents of the new gay marriage and adoption law now talk openly of revolution. One group even calling itself the French Spring. They view the new law as a tool of the left to tear down French tradition, and it seems to have galvanized hatred for the leftist government of François Hollande.
I think that the main aim of the French government is to destroy traditional families. They speak about rights, they speak about equality, but it's not a question of rights, it's not a question of equality, it's a question of destruction of the family.
In Eastern Europe, fascism is on the march. Hungary's Jobbik is the third largest party in parliament. Its leader says only a show of strength is effective against the unscrupulous Zionist advance. And Jobbik wants a national registry drawn up listing all the Jews in Hungary. Similar movements are active in Greece, Poland, and Slovakia. Meanwhile, the European Union continues to fail economically. And a recent poll shows that for the first time, most EU citizens don't like the idea of the European Union.
Europeans' faith in and belief in the European project, the fact that economic integration should be good for them, well, they don't believe that anymore.
In Rome, an Italian taxi driver says Europe should be written off, not Italy. It's Europe that's not working. In Spain, homeless families are squatting in unsold apartment buildings. In Greece, former members of the middle class find themselves sleeping outdoors. It's no longer just Europe's ghettos that are breeding grounds for radicalism. Today, trouble is brewing all across Europe. Dale Hurd, CBN News.